Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Self-Made Podcast. I'm your host, Chloe Trca, and today we're going to be talking about something I've struggled with for probably the past, honestly, like a long time, like years, but it's really like became apparent to me in the past 3 months, and it's that I'm doing too much. And I never thought that was even possible. I'm a very like go-getter, productive, efficient, like I feel like that's kind of part of my self-brand is like I like to like get a lot done and be accomplished, but I've realized like that's really not as amazing as it seems, and I feel like you can do too much, and I was doing too much in almost like every area of my life, which is kind of sad, especially I would say like within work and business, and then also like in the gym, but those are two things that I excelled in, and I feel like I prioritized the most, and like the more you put in, the more you get out. And so I feel like I was like trying to put in as much as I could so I could get the biggest return. But the thing is, you can't get a lot, like this is gonna be hypothetical, and if you're watching, I'm a hand person, but like imagine you have a million plants you're trying to water and you have 1 bucket of water. You only can give a little bit of water to all of those plants, okay? They're not gonna be beautiful and lively, they're gonna probably all die and whittle down. But if you have like just 2 plants that you're focusing on and you only have your big pot of water, you can give it as much or as little as it needs every single day. And you don't have to like be so sparse, you know? Like I was just spreading myself too thin, essentially. So I don't know if I plant, do I plant like a metaphor make any sense? Is that a metaphor? Whatever. Anyway, I don't know what I'm saying. But like I was just spreading myself way too thin. And I think a lot of this stems from the career that I'm in, given I am a fitness content creator, so I felt like the more I worked out, the better. And the more work I was doing, like when you don't have a select set of hours, it can be really hard to turn work off and turn work on, especially when your pretty much entire life is what you document and show. Like I can be working at any moment of any day. I can flip a camera on, I can edit at my house. Like I work from home, which it's the most, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I absolutely love my job, and I think that's another part of it is I love it so much that I'm like, why do I enjoy it so much? Like I should be working harder, I should be working more. Like my life shouldn't be this like great in a sense, you know? It's like I feel like it's too good and I don't deserve it or something, which isn't healthy at all. Like I worked my butt off to get here, but it's like I need to regroup because I was doing too much. Like I don't think I realized it until I moved in with my brother in Arizona because he saw it firsthand. I used to kind of live alone, and so when I would work, like it was just me. Like there was no one else around. I could just kind of do my thing, and I had no one else kind of watching and observing how much I was doing. And so I just kind of thought it was normal because for a period of my life, like I was a very busy person. I talked about this before, but in the college, like my early years of college, when I was just getting into social media, I was doing that. I was a full-time college student. I worked 2 part-time jobs. I had a boyfriend. Like I juggled so much, and I think I oftentimes kind of reflect back to that version of myself, and I'm like, if she could do all that, like I'm doing nothing now. Like I don't have a boyfriend. I work from home. I'm not a student anymore. Like I feel like almost guilty for not doing more. And again, it's still hard for me to like admit that and say, because then it's like I don't even know if I like make sense saying that. I'm like, am I not doing enough? But a lot of the areas that I was doing too much in was just like work in general. My brother was like, and it's funny because I had this exact same conversation with my parents that I had with my brother, and they were like, something needs to give. You're doing too much. You're wearing yourself out. You're working yourself to the bone. And I was like, what do you mean? But like fast forward to now, like what my brother was talking about, he's like, Chloe, like you have a weekly podcast. You upload on YouTube twice a week. You're posting every single day on TikTok, every single day on Instagram. You're on your like socials like all day, every day. Like I don't just post once on TikTok. I post like 4 or 5 times on TikTok. I post on my story like 10, 15 times a day. Like I'm always on my phone. But it's like I feel like if I'm not documenting something, I'm like wasting. It's like a wasted opportunity. And that's something I need to like work on, because again, it's like I can't give it my all when I'm trying to do a million things at once. Like he's like, you need to narrow your focus and like perfect one thing at a time rather than trying to like half-ass all these things. He's like, you try to be a podcaster, you try to be a YouTuber, you try to be a TikToker, you try to be an Instagram person, you try to be a fitness coach, you're running a half marathon. Like he's like, Chloe, pick 1 or 2. He's like, I don't know why you're doing all these things. And I'm like, well, I'm not giving up anything. Like, I'm stubborn, and like I absolutely love my podcast. Like, I'm so passionate about it, and my like YouTube and stuff, I love vlogging. Like, it's so fun, but like, again, I was doing so much that it was like the quality wasn't as good. I was rushing content. Like, it felt like a chore getting it done, which again, I was like, it's work, it's supposed to feel like that. But then again, I'm like, not really. Like, it shouldn't. Like, I did love this at one point, and it was a passion, but I was losing that passion. And so I have made some changes. Like, I now upload on YouTube like once a week, and I'm less strict with it. YouTube isn't really like my main thing. I really feel like I can give the most through TikTok and Instagram because I have like the greatest reach to people, and I can like condense short form content. I can provide more value in that. But then again, like my podcast, I feel like I connect with you guys so much on here, and I can share so much like wisdom and advice. But right now, business wise, like technically it doesn't really make the most sense for me to put all this time and effort into it unless I really focus on like creating my podcast to be like crazy good. Like, it's just my, I don't know, it's like it's a good, you guys are amazing. Like, I have such a support system on here, but it's like it's not really making me a lot of money in a sense. Like, it doesn't really make me much money at all. It's really just like something I enjoy. It's like a hobby. But he's like, if you want to like focus in on your podcast, like, Chloe, like actually start recording it. And so I did. Like, that's why I started filming it, and I take it a little more serious, and I write outlines for my episodes and whatever. But I'm like, it's been a year, and like I just started filming them, and like I need to like update my podcast art. Like, I need to take things more serious, but I'm like, that takes time. And it's like I was pouring into so many other buckets that I didn't even like kind of take the time to like settle and reflect and be like, okay, what platforms are my favorite? Where do I want to put more energy and time into? Where do I not want to? Like, it just slowing down kind of like opened my eyes to a lot of that. And I think in your guys' lives too, like, I know you probably don't have a podcast, maybe you do, but like a lot of people probably don't have a podcast and like a YouTube channel and stuff like that, and your work and life are different. Like, I know my job is kind of unique, but again, like, even if like you're a student and you're working a full-time job or a part-time job and you just have a lot of things going on, it's like, slow down. It's okay to like let some things go. Like, you don't need to be doing all this at one time and trying to like create all these new hobbies and like accomplishing something. Like, too much isn't good. Like, really focus on what you prioritize and what you want to like better yourself in. But like, even too with like the gym and stuff, I was doing too much. Like, I've cut back a lot. Like, my physique, I feel like, has been the best since I started doing less, which is so funny. Like, you would think that isn't right, but recovery is huge, especially as a female. Like, you can't go 110% every single day. Like, it's not healthy on your body, especially with the way our hormone cycle is. Like, during your luteal phase, you gotta cut back a little bit. You can't go as intense. And I used to lift like 6 days a week, 5 days a week. Now I lift like 2 or 3 days a week. And I used to like kind of train twice a day almost with like running and stuff. I would run and lift, and now I run one day, I lift one day, and it's just helped a lot on my body, of like the stress on my body, and I feel like I'm recovering better and I just feel better. I'm not overdoing it. And too, with like lifting less, because I love to lift. Lifting is like my favorite. It's kind of where I feel like I thrive. Like, that's just my element. I feel like I was more gifted with like lifting than I am running, but I love it. But I was kind of losing that passion because it was like forced. I was going to the gym and I didn't love it. I finally found a new gym I love here, and I'm so happy. But it's like I get so excited to go to the gym and lift. Like, the three days I'm there to lift, I'm like looking forward to it all day. And like, I miss that. Like, that's how it used to be. And I feel like my lifts are so much more efficient and productive because I'm cutting back so I can give more when the opportunity arises, you know? And I think that's so important because that is in every like aspect of our life. Like, you have to be able to want to give your all in everything you do. So it's like when you're trying to do a million different things, like, you can't give your all. Like, you just simply can't. And I kind of feel like I learned that the hard way. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I really was in a rut the past like couple months of just feeling like exhausted and burnt out and uninspired. And I'm like, that is really weird because I love my job, and like I would be so much more uninspired and burnt out if I was working an office job or something. And I'm like, I can't. I felt like I couldn't complain, and I felt like I couldn't have these like feelings and emotions because I'm like, what the heck? I have like my dream job, but I'm like, well, you were doing too much. You were doing too much. You were burning yourself out. And I feel like even too, like, with kind of half-assing like all of my content, I wasn't really growing on any platforms. I wasn't really like feeling like I was bringing much value to you guys. I was just like getting something up to get something up rather than like actually taking the time to like record a good video, record a good like episode, or think of a good recipe. Like I was just trying to get one up for the day, or a photo. Just, I don't know, it just wasn't what I was wanting to give. And now that I've like put a lot less pressure on myself, as in like having to post every single day or something, like I really just kind of make it more like natural, I guess, kind of like I did at the beginning. But if I do think of a video, I do like try to like plan it out and give myself more time to do it and like put more effort into it. And I feel like that's helping. I definitely think I'm like more passionate about the content. I'm more proud of the content I'm putting out. I'm happier with it. I feel like you guys are like responding better to it, and it just makes me really happy because making that change is beneficial, and I'm seeing that. But I was kind of like thinking about it, and I'm like, were there signs that I was doing too much that I didn't really realize? And so I kind of want to chat with you guys on like the signs I saw in myself, in case these are signs that you guys see in yourself, that you're doing too much and you need to slow down. And like I said, one of my biggest things was I just kind of lost my passion. Like work was beginning to feel like work, and I was like, okay. Like one of the things I've always like been so inspired by from my dad was like, he's like, I every day go to work, but it doesn't feel like I'm working. And he goes, and that's the best part of my job. Like work shouldn't feel like work if you love it. And I, up until about, since I don't even know how long this has been going on, but like it started to feel like work, and I like wasn't excited about it. I wasn't excited to get up and like vlog, and I wasn't excited to like record a podcast. It was kind of like, oh, gotta get an episode done today. Like it just felt like a chore, and I'm like, no, I want that passion back, because obviously when I have the passion, the quality of the content's even better too, just because I feel like you guys can probably tell like the passion's there, the intention's there, the energy's there, and I miss that. And so yeah, but I even lost the passion like in the gym and like in fitness and stuff. Like for a while when I first moved to Arizona, like life was chaotic and I didn't really have a gym membership, but like I really also didn't have like the motivation and the drive to like go work out. Like I kind of got lazy, and I feel like that was the thing, is like I was so burnt out that I was becoming lazy. Like everything just seemed like a chore. Like even things I enjoyed doing, I didn't really want to go do, and I was like, wow. But I was just so tired, I was so exhausted, but I wouldn't give myself the second to breathe. I wouldn't give myself a rest day to recover, because I would be laying in bed editing something. Like I would never just relax and refresh and reset. Like I did not do that. And so it was just, it's so stupid, because it's like, Chloe, why can't you just rest? Like everything would have been better. But it's just kind of like a mental thing. I feel like I have to like battle with myself, but I have to overcome and learn from, and I am learning from it, and it's getting better. But back to what I was saying about the gym, it's like I wasn't even motivated to go lift. Like I wasn't excited about it. I didn't want to lift. I didn't want to go on a run. I didn't even want to go like outside and go really on walks or anything. Like it all just felt like a chore, and I'm like, what the heck? But it's because I was just so exhausted. I was just doing too much. And yeah, which was sad, because like those are, like I said, the two main things in my life that made me so happy. And I don't think I wasn't like depressed, I wouldn't say. I never felt like sad and stuff, but I just didn't have that like internal like fire that I feel like I typically have on a day-to-day. So that was a big sign, is I just didn't really have a passion for like anything, which is so sad and weird to say. So yeah, really reflect on that yourself. But like another sign that I saw in myself was I was just less productive in general. Like it took me forever to get like one thing done, rather than being able to like check it off, and like get through like what I actually did need to get done that day. Like I just felt like I wasn't getting anything done. Like I was constantly like leaving things unfinished and undone, and I was just so unproductive, as I'm trying to be so productive by doing all this stuff and getting so much done. I was getting nothing done. And I feel like that's a very common sign of like doing too much. Like that's like kind of the epitome of it. And so now that I'm doing a little less, I feel like I'm better at actually getting what I need done, completely like finished all the way through. And that helps me, just like my stress levels and everything. Like obviously that's like the goal when you start something, you want to finish it. So that's huge. And just like I do have the desire to feel productive. So it's like when I was doing all this to feel productive but not being productive, I was like feeling even worse about it, you know, like it was like so counterproductive. That's ironically counterproductive, but anyway. And then the next thing I noticed was I didn't even like have time for like friends and family. Like I have a few friends here in Arizona and stuff, and it almost felt like a chore to like go see my friends, but I'm like, Chloe, you're a human being, you're 22, like you can not work, you can like put it on the back burner and you can go see your friends. Like holy cow. And I think it was easier like when I was back in Iowa living with Taylor, because she's like my best friend and we lived together. So I was with her a lot. Like I didn't feel like I lacked that like sense of community and like friendships and stuff. But now that I'm here and I don't live with her, I do have to like actually like commit and create more time in my day, and prioritize like friend time more, because it's like not as accessible, you know, like I have to plan for it. And I think too, like I think that's why it's been such a big shift in me working more while being here, is just because I'm not around her all the time and I'm not around a friend. Because like when she would get off work, I feel like it was easier for me to kind of check out for the day mentally, because she was checking out, and then we'd like make dinner and then we'd like watch a show and like we'd have a night, and I felt like I had a lot more balance within work then. But now I'm here and I can just kind of work through, you know, before dinner, after dinner, whatever. And so I think that's kind of where I got off track again. But I felt, another time was like I just felt guilty for like having any space in my day. Like I think it's just because it's the fact that I have the job that I do, and I feel like almost like shame if I'm like not working, because it's like people view my job as not necessarily a job, or it's so easy and it's all this. So it's like I want to prove to those people like it is a job, it is work. But then it's like if I go get lunch or go get coffee midday, I'm like I'm like shameful, I'm like I'm embarrassed, because I'm like I should be working, but instead I'm going to get coffee. But then I'm like, Chloe, like everyone who has a job has a lunch break, like what the heck, like it's okay. And like take advantage of the opportunities and the flexibility within your career. Like that's something that's a benefit to it. It's like you don't need to not take advantage of those. And so I've tried to be a little more lax and lenient on my days, and not feeling like I have to like work from sun up to sundown, or like from 9 to 5 or 8 to 7. Like I would say my work day like starts from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to sleep, and then I give myself little breaks in between. But I'm like I feel like that's not really like the greatest way for me to do that. And I actually have kind of created a new blocking system for my day, and I'm going to share that with you guys later in this episode. And it's been working really well, and I'm like really excited about it. But the last thing that really opened my eyes to the fact that I was doing too much was I just wasn't prioritizing myself, and I was putting my work above a lot of things, you know. And I guess, I don't know, I just think that I want to do more now that I actually find enjoyment in, and that will give me that break from work. Is just like I just moved to a new city, like I need to go explore more, I want to get out more. I'm like at my house all the time, and I want to go see more parts of like Scottsdale and Tempe, and like try new restaurants and cafes, and like see what's going on the weekends, and you know, go to like a little events and stuff, and just do more of that kind of stuff, like fun entertainment life things that normal people do. Like I want to do more of that, because I love doing that kind of stuff. It's so fun. Also too, just like doing dinners and lunches and just getting out of the house a little more, like throughout the work week, even to like getting lunch with a friend on a Tuesday or something, like being okay with that and going and doing that. It just like adds more joy and happiness into my life, and I really like need to do that more, because I don't do like that at all. Yesterday I went on a long walk with my friend on a Wednesday, and like that was so fun, and I really needed that, and I'm so happy I did that. And it kind of opened my eyes to realizing I need to do that more. And then another thing is just like, this is like kind of random, but like prioritizing myself. Like I want to give myself time in my day that is like just to work on myself, other than the gym and work. Like I want to like learn how to better do my makeup, I want to learn how to like do my hair, like I want to learn all these like fun little things. I never give myself the time of day to like sit down and watch a YouTube video on like how to do my makeup, or like learn a new hairstyle. Like I just do the same things every day because it works, and I don't have to take the time to learn it. I want to learn new things like that. And I want, one thing like really recently that I've been getting so into is like fashion. Like I want to build like a style, and I've wanted to do this for a really long time, but it's like so hard, and I just really never come around to doing it because I just get busy. But it's like I want to set aside some time to like actually like look through a Pinterest board and like kind of shop online and create like mood boards and inspo boards and like kind of piece together outfits. Like I'm a lot more into fashion recently, probably more than ever. And I've always been into fashion, but like now it's like I really want to like execute on it and like put more energy and time into it. And like these are things that I only really get a return out of for myself. Like it's not for anyone else, it's not for my work. Like it just helps me feel happier and more confident, and it's just a way of kind of elevating myself that's more internal, I guess. Even though they're external things, they help me internally, if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys can relate to that or not, but I just really want to take time to like do like the girly things that I just never do, because I'm like, I just don't do them. I don't know. And I miss like just going out and like taking pictures and doing fun things like that with my friends. Like me and Taylor used to go take pictures all the time, and my brother loves doing that. So I'm like, I want to do that kind of stuff more again, and just being more creative and having fun and like loosely making content that isn't like, again, it's more for me rather than like getting content for work, you know. And then I want to try more like workout classes. I've been saying this for a long time, but I really do need to do that because I think it'll help me also to like build a sense of community and like meet more people, because I think I'm lacking some friendships. Like I just need more people in my life. Like I have like 2 good friends here and my brother, but that's kind of about it. And I feel like now that I'm here more long term, like after the new year, I'm gonna be here full time. And so I'm like, okay, like we need more friends because I need like a group. I need more community like that. And so that's something I'm gonna prioritize as well. And the last one is reading the Bible. And honestly, I feel like a lot of this too has like kind of come full circle because I've really gotten into my faith in the last year, and it's something I'm like, thank God every day for, because it's changed my life and changed my mindset and like eased so much of my anxieties and worries in life. But the more I like learn about my faith and dive into my faith and like listen to different podcasts and read the Bible and go to church and hear different sermons and stuff, one big message is like God wants you to rest. The Lord wants you to rest. It's literally like one of the main things. Like you're supposed to rest. And I'm like, I never rest. That's a freaking sin. I'm just like working all the time. Like I don't ever take a day to rest. And I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and it was literally saying, she was saying in it how like if God can rest, so can you. And I was like, oh right, like yeah, you know, like you're totally right. And that really like, I feel like that hit home, because I was like, okay, if God takes a day to rest, I need to take a day to rest. So that's one thing I'm gonna start doing, is like I think actually like not working on the weekends, like not working, and only letting myself like film content and like edit and do kind of stuff that I actually want to do, not just because I feel like guilty for not, or I feel like I have to do, you know. But anyway, with that being said, I want to kind of explain my new little blocking system for work, because I'm obsessed with it, my day-to-day. And I feel like this is like kind of a new thing. People are trying. I see some of my friends try it, and I think I kind of created it. I thought about this on my run actually one day. That's why I love running, because I have all these like cool thoughts, and I just like have a lot of like realizations and stuff. But I don't know if I think I've probably heard this like in podcasts before and heard of people doing this, but it just kind of came to me and I was like, whoa, I want to start doing this. So I'm going to kind of explain to you guys my new blocking scheduling system. What this kind of looks like is going to be essentially, I used to think like I had to work like a 9 to 5, you know, and just work straight through the day all day. But I'm like, that isn't me utilizing my energy and my time as great as I can. And so I kind of thought about this new little system, and I'm so excited, like I'm all giddy about it. So I wake up and I realize, I'm like, I really like took the time to reflect. I'm like, where is my mind and where is my energy throughout my day? Because I'm blessed and I have the opportunity to create my schedule entirely. Like everything I do, I can kind of create myself. So I'm like, I'm gonna take advantage of this, you know? And so I'm a morning person. I love getting up in the mornings. And I think it used to stem from like having the need to feel productive, but I actually think I've learned to love mornings because of how peaceful and slow and like present I can be like in my morning. And I love the sunrise, and I just love the quietness, and it's a lot less about like being productive and being ahead and more about like literally just like the beauty of it. And so I get up around 6. I used to get up at like 5:20, but I actually stopped doing that because I need a little more rest, and the sun doesn't rise here until like 7 in the morning now, which is kind of nice. So I don't have to get up as early for the sunrise. So I get up around 6, and I realized in the mornings, freshly like awake, I'm very productive, and I feel like I can dive into a lot of like heavy, deep like brain work. So what I mean by this is I'm going to use the like window from like 6 to 10 to do a lot of like heavy brain work, and that's going to open up my day a lot too, because I'm going to get a lot of like the must-dos done, and this is going to be like my work. So this is going to be like my programming for my clients. This is going to be me writing out workouts. This is going to be me prepping recipes and like kind of brainstorming ideas. This is going to be me doing emails and like contracts and that kind of stuff. A lot of like the actual like business side work, because my job has a lot of different like angles and like creative sides, content sides, but then there's like, you know, like the behind the scenes editing and that kind of stuff, and business and emails and all that. So my goal is between about 6 to 10. I want to put towards like, and this would even be like outlining my podcast, like just things where I need to be so hyper focused and like in the zone for, and like fresh minded for. So that's first thing in the morning. I realize that's where that is for me mentally, and I think a lot of people probably are at the freshest in the mornings. And then around 10, I'm going to give myself a break. I'm going to plug in a break. It's going to be my breakfast, and it's going to be a time where I can just chill and not worry about anything. And then from like 10 to 10:30, okay? And then after that, from about 10:30 to 11:30, this on my running days is when I'm going to go run, because it's going to be a little bit warmer. I'm going to have my breakfast in me. I'm going to be energized, and I'm going to go outside and run. So then I can do that, and then come home. Sorry, I'm yawning, excuse me. But then I'm going to come home and I'm going to shower and get ready for the day. Because one thing that is hard about not hard about my job, but like can be a struggle, is like working out and then like looking presentable. I get all sweaty and gross, and I'm like, I only want to do my hair and makeup one time a day. And I like getting ready for the day. Like looking a little presentable, it just helps my confidence. It makes me feel better. And so I'll look like kind of a slob, you know, when I'm just hibernating away doing my brain work. And then I go on my run. I don't need to look good while I run. And then I'll come home and refresh, get ready for the day, have my lunch. That will be a break, and then I'll get into my content side of the day. So this will be a lot of like filming, because one, the lighting is better during midday. I'm more refreshed. I'm like, I feel like I just can give more energy. I look better like in the afternoon rather than early mornings or like late at night. And so I'm going to utilize that window of time to like film content, take photos, do all that kind of stuff, like a video style, like right now, like recording my podcast, stuff like that, and meetings. So when I have like Zoom calls and meetings and stuff like that, I'll look presentable, I'll have energy, whatever. And then that will be until about 3 o'clock. And then this will be another break in my day where I can go and I can do another form of movement. So running days, I don't typically lift. So this will be like a little walk, or this will just be like going to the gym and doing a little treadmill walk or whatever I want to do. Just give myself some sort of like movement break. And then I will go to my third blocking system of the day. And this is going to be kind of like where and this is only going to be if I like don't finish this in the mornings, but it's going to be a lot of editing. Because I think editing is also kind of like a brain power, heavy brain power, like part of my job. And so I'm going to try to do like editing and that kind of stuff. But then from about like 4 to 6, it's going to be like my life to-dos, because I feel like this is the main thing that I put off. I don't do anything for myself, like my life, like errands and chores and that kind of stuff. And so this will be like running to the grocery store, or this will be cleaning my bedroom, or dusting, or literally any errand that a human could have, or I could have in a day-to-day. Or I can utilize this time to meet with friends and let loose and like not, because like that is something I need in my life, like socialization. So it's like that's just as important as cleaning my room to me at this point. And so I can utilize that time between like 4 to 7, I would say, is honestly this window. And that's just going to be like my life to-dos. And then after that, I wind down. 7 is like I eat dinner around like 6 or whatever, but then I wind down and I go to bed. And I feel like that system of like heavy brain work, and then it's like content filming, and then it's my life, like my to-dos, it just helps me feel more accomplished and breaks it up instead of feeling like I have to do everything all at once and just like from start to finish like film a video, edit the video. Like I can just get all my filming done and then I can get all my editing done and just break it up and like know what to expect and then be like, okay, it's this time, cut it off, be done. We'll get to it tomorrow now. So that's my new approach. And then it's a little different for lifting days, but similar. I'll get up and I will actually start my day with a little bit of movement. So this would be like a morning hike or a morning walk, because I don't run these days. So I still kind of want to get some sort of like steps in and just like moving my body, and I like starting with morning movement. And so if I'm not running at like 10 or 11, I want to do like a morning walk, and this will be like earlier in the day. And I like using this time too, like I utilize it as like inspo time. So I like to scroll Pinterest, I like to listen to podcasts, I like to feed my mind. So on these days I'll spend my earlier mornings, well, from like 6 to 8 I'll do like the brain work of my life. So that's like emails and like programming and all that kind of stuff. But then from like 8 to 9 is my morning movement. So I'll go on my walk, I'll listen to my podcast, I'll get inspired. And then I won't have my run. So then I'll just get ready for the day. It won't take as long. And then I'll do my content. And then I'll do that until about 3 o'clock. And then I'm going to start lifting from like 3 to 5, because this is a huge thing. And this has really, really, really helped me in a lot of areas, oddly. But I have a lot of energy. If you like actually pay attention, a lot of bodybuilders lift at around this time, because this is like when you're very high energy, you have a lot of fuel in you. And it's just like a good window of my day. So I used to feel guilty for going to the gym midday, because everyone's like, oh, influencers are so unrelatable. Like I can't just go to the gym from like 3 to 5. But it's like, okay, well, I need to just let go of that, because like I can actually be the best version of myself if I do this. So I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity that I have for that. So I'm going to go to the gym from like 3 to 5 and get my lifts. And this is like 3 days a week, 2 days a week. And I'm energized. The gym's kind of busy and I kind of like it. It's like a social atmosphere. Like it fuels me. I have been having the best lifts going at this time, like the best. And it's from 3 to 5, it's just starting to get busy towards the end of my lift. It's not too busy at the beginning, but it's like busy enough where it's like fun for me. I kind of like a busy gym, believe it or not. It might be an unpopular opinion, but I feel like it's kind of like an exterior motive to like want to push myself in the gym. I don't get how people like work out in like empty gyms. I don't get that. I kind of like the motivation I get from other people. Anyway, but and then after that it'll be like 5. I come home. Oh, and my favorite part about this is the sun's about setting at about the time I'm leaving the gym. So I drive home to a sunset drive. Like, romanticize your life, okay? I do this. And I blast my music, because like post-workout endorphins are flowing. You're feeling amazing after your lift. And I can listen to my music. I drive home, so it's like a 20-minute drive from my gym. And I watch the sunset. I get home, and then I just edit some stuff. I like kind of do like my last like little to-dos for the day. Like I finish, wrap up. This is like my errand time. This is my chore time. This is like just little bits and pieces that I need to like wrap up for the day. Then I have my dinner, and then I clock out. And I'm like, knowing each of those days, like I love those days. I feel so good. I feel so motivated. I feel so inspired. Like I don't go to bed and wake up and be like, okay, what am I gonna do today? Like I have a plan and I have a cutoff time, and I feel so much more productive, and I feel so much more like structured. I thrive in structure, and I thrive in routine. And I feel like I had so many little routines, but not really like a day-to-day routine. And I think that's what was killing me. And again, not every single day am I gonna follow this. Like life happens and little things come up, and I'm not gonna be super hard on myself about like perfecting this. But it's like just having this as a sense of a system to follow. I think it will definitely help me in this area of like shutting work off, shutting work on, like being able to utilize my energy, my time. Like it just makes me really excited. And so I really, really recommend like seeing how you guys can implement like this structure into your day. I know you probably don't have a similar day-to-day, but maybe you do. Maybe you're a college student, and maybe you need to do your heavy brain like studying in the morning, and then you go to your class, and then you go to the gym, but then you come home and you do like your fun, I don't know, things. Like just see how you can kind of like utilize your time and your energy the best way possible. But anyway, that kind of wraps up everything I wanted to talk about. I do think you can do too much though. I really do, and I have been doing too much for too long. And so I hope this like new structure, I have a really good feeling about it. I've been implementing it for this week, and it's definitely made an impact already. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it makes life better. It makes me feel less stressed. And yeah, so anyway, Thank you guys so much for listening. I love you so much, and we'll chat later. Bye, guys.